Admiral Lisa Greenfield stared at the message on her screen. She read it again, making sure she understood every word. The Galactic Council wanted to see humans. Not just any humans, but official representatives who could speak for all of Earth. And they weren't asking nicely. "This is not a request," the message said. "This is a summons." Lisa looked out the window of her office. Earth Command stood tall in what used to be Colorado. From her view, she could see the training grounds where young officers practiced for space missions. Humans had only been traveling among the stars for 70 years, but they had already spread to 12 star systems. They had built colonies, research stations, and mining outposts. They had made Earth proud. But now the Galactic Council, the group of 17 alien species that claimed to rule this part of the galaxy, was unhappy. They called human expansion dangerous and concerning. Lisa knew what that meant. The council felt threatened. "Computer, call Captain John Miller, Dr. Olivia Hayes, and Sam Jackson to my office immediately," Lisa said. While she waited, Lisa opened her secure files on the council races. The oldest species, the Archean Empire, had been traveling space for over 10,000 years. They looked down on humans as if they were children. The newest council member had joined 500 years ago. No species had ever expanded as quickly as humans. John arrived first. He had a serious face and walked with the confidence of someone who had won many battles. "Admiral," he said with a nod. "Your message sounded urgent." "It is. Take a seat. We'll wait for the others." Dr. Olivia Hayes entered next. Her eyes were bright with intelligence. She had studied more alien species than anyone else on Earth and could speak 6 alien languages. Sam Jackson was last. He wore a relaxed smile that hid his sharp mind. As Earth's best diplomat, he had prevented 3 wars through words alone. Lisa showed them the message. "The Council wants us to answer for our dangerous expansionist tendencies. They've given us 3 days to appear before them." "They're scared," Sam said, his smile gone. "We're growing too fast for their comfort." Olivia nodded. "Most council species took centuries to reach where we are now. We've done it in decades." "Do they plan to stop us?" John asked, his hand moving instinctively to where his weapon would normally be. "That's what we need to find out," Lisa said. "The 4 of us will go to the council station orbiting Proxima Centauri V. Our fastest ship, the U.S. Horizon, can get us there in 2 weeks. 2 weeks there, likely several days of meetings, and 2 weeks back," Sam calculated. "A long time to be away from Earth during a potential crisis. President Rodriguez has approved this mission as our highest priority," Lisa explained. "While we're gone, Earth Command will be on alert. If the Council is planning something, we need to know." During the next 2 days, they prepared. Lisa studied council politics. John reviewed military options if things went badly. Olivia gathered data on each council species, looking for weaknesses. Sam practiced diplomatic responses for every possible situation. The U.S. Horizon was Earth's newest ship. It could travel faster than any other human vessel, but it also carried hidden weapons that no council member knew about. Just in case. As they boarded, Lisa felt the weight of her responsibility. 5 billion humans on Earth, and another 3 billion on colonies across 12 star systems, depended on what happened next. "Final checks complete, Admiral," the ship's captain reported. "We're ready to launch." Lisa looked at her team. John stood tall and ready. Olivia carried tablets filled with research. Sam appeared calm, but his eyes showed he was already planning his words. "Let's go meet the neighbors," Lisa said, "and remind them that humans don't back down easily." The U.S. Horizon lifted off, carrying them toward a meeting that might determine the future of the human race. The U.S. Horizon arrived at the massive council station after 14 days of travel. The station orbited Proxima Centauri like a metal moon, far larger than anything humans had built. Thousands of alien ships moved around it in careful patterns. Admiral Lisa Greenfield and her team stepped out of their ship into the docking bay. 6 alien guards waited for them. They had blue skin and 4 arms each. They did not speak but gestured for the humans to follow. The hallways were huge and curved upward. The air smelled sweet but made John's nose itch. Olivia took readings on a small device hidden in her sleeve. Sam watched every alien they passed, noting which ones showed interest and which ones seemed afraid. They designed this place to make visitors feel small, Lisa whispered. Don't let it work on you. The guards led them to a round door that opened into a massive chamber. 17 raised platforms formed a circle. On each platform sat representatives of the council races. Some looked almost human. Others were so strange that Lisa could hardly tell which parts were faces and which were limbs. In the center of the circle was a small platform where the human delegation was directed to stand. Lights from above made them easy for everyone to see. High Chancellor Zorvac of the Archean Empire stood from the tallest platform. He was tall with gray skin and 6 limbs. His voice came through the humans' translators. The representatives of Earth have arrived, he announced. We shall now begin the formal accusation. Large screens appeared in the air around the chamber. They showed images of human ships, colonies, and military bases across the 12 star systems humanity had settled. In 70 of your Earth years, Zorvac continued, your species has expanded at a rate that threatens the balance of our galaxy. You have built military outposts near Council space. You have mined resources at dangerous rates. You have developed weapons that should be beyond your understanding. The screens changed to show human military ships during training exercises. Lisa recognized secret tests that should have been impossible for the Council to know about. Most concerning, Zorvac said, your rate of technological development exceeds any safe pattern. What took other species centuries, you achieve in decades. This cannot continue. A female alien with feathers covering her body spoke next. The Council has voted. Earth must halt all expansion immediately. No new colonies. No new military ships. No further technological development beyond current levels. John's hand moved toward his weapon, but Lisa gave him a warning look. And if we refuse? Lisa asked, keeping her voice calm. Zorvac's many eyes blinked slowly. Then we will be forced to implement containment measures. Explain containment measures, Sam requested, using his most diplomatic tone. A small alien with green skin answered, a quarantine of Earth and all human colonies. Council ships will surround your systems. Any vessel attempting to leave will be disabled. You're threatening to imprison our entire species, Lisa said. We are preventing a dangerous child from hurting itself and others, Zorvac replied. This is not negotiable. The Council has observed your kind for decades. You are too aggressive, too ambitious, too unpredictable. The screen showed images of Earth's wars throughout history. Weapons, destruction, death. You call yourselves peaceful now, Zorvac continued, but your history speaks otherwise. We cannot allow such a species to spread unchecked through the galaxy. Lisa stood straight and looked directly at Zorvac. The Council has no authority over Earth or human colonies. We are not members of your organization. We have not signed your treaties. The chamber filled with angry sounds from various aliens. Zorvac raised 4 of his limbs, and silence returned. You have 24 hours to consider our demands, he said. During this time, you will remain in quarters assigned to you. When you return, you will accept our terms, or we will begin containment immediately. The guards returned to escort the humans out. As they walked, Sam moved close to Lisa. They're more afraid than they're showing, he whispered. This isn't just about rules. They're genuinely terrified of what we might become. Lisa nodded slightly. Good. Fear might be our best advantage right now. The guards led them to a small room with 4 beds and a window looking out at the stars. The door closed behind them, with a sound that made it clear. They were prisoners until tomorrow. As soon as the door closed, John checked the room for listening devices. He found 3 and pointed them out silently to the others. Lisa nodded, understanding they needed to be careful with their words. "Well, that went about as expected," she said loudly for the benefit of anyone listening. "The council has made their position clear." Olivia took out a small device from her pocket and pressed a button. A soft hum filled the room. "We have 5 minutes before they detect the signal blocker," she said quickly. "Now we can talk freely." "They're lying," Sam said. "I've studied enough alien cultures to see the signs. The council races all expanded just like we did during their early years." Olivia nodded and pulled out her tablet. "I managed to access their historical database when we passed a terminal. Look at this." She showed them charts and images. Each council race had gone through rapid expansion phases. Some had fought wars over territory. Others had destroyed competing species. They created the council precisely to keep new spacefaring races from challenging their power, Olivia explained. "We're not the first they've tried to contain, but we might be the first who can resist." "We need to contact Earth," Lisa said. "John, can you get a secure message out?" John pulled a small cube from his boot. "Short-range quantum transmitter. Works through any known jamming technology. But I need to be within 50 meters of our ship." Lisa thought for a moment. "The air vents. Olivia, can you tell if they're large enough?" Olivia scanned the room with her device. "The maintenance system would work, but we'd need to create a distraction." "I can handle that," Sam said with a slight smile. "During our walk here, I made contact with 3 council representatives. The Kirisheri, the Lenturi, and the Volans. They're the newest council members, and they secretly admire humanity's progress. They might help us." The signal blocker beeped softly. Their private time was ending. "We'll play along for now," Lisa said as the humming stopped. "Let them think we're considering their demands." Over the next several hours, they took turns sleeping while the others worked. Sam wrote messages in an ancient Earth language and smuggled them out with a service droid. Olivia analyzed the station's schematics from the data she had stolen. John prepared their escape route if things went wrong. Lisa received a response from one of Sam's contacts, a Kirisheri named Talreath. It contained access codes to the station's communication array and a warning. "The older races fear you more than you know." Meanwhile, on Earth, President Kevin Rodriguez sat in the Oval Office with his advisors. A secure quantum transmission had just arrived from the council station. "So they want us to stop growing," he said after reading Lisa's report. "To stay in our little corner of space and never challenge them." "What are your orders, Mr. President?" asked the Secretary of Defense. Rodriguez turned to a thin man with intense eyes who sat quietly in the corner. "Dr. Wright, is Project Ascension ready?" Dr. Alan Wright nodded slowly. "The prototypes work. We can begin implementation any time." "And the defense grid?" "Fully operational around all colony worlds, but still hidden," Dr. Wright said. "They have no idea what we've built." The president stood and looked at the map of human territory displayed on the wall. "Send word to Admiral Greenfield. Tell her to reject their demands, but do it carefully. We need time to activate everything." Back on the station, John successfully reached their ship through the maintenance tunnels. He sent the encrypted message to Earth and returned just before the guards came to check on them. When the quantum reply came, Lisa gathered her team. "New orders from the president," she whispered. "We're not accepting their terms, but we need to be smart about how we tell them." "What about Project Ascension?" Olivia asked. "Is it ready?" Lisa nodded. "And there's more. Apparently Dr. Wright has completed something called Protocol Omega. Whatever it is, it changes our strategy completely." Sam looked concerned. "Will they tell us what it is?" "No," Lisa replied. "Too risky. But they sent a code phrase for what we need to do tomorrow. Show them the stars." The 4 humans spent the rest of their time planning their response. When the guards came to take them back to the council chamber, they were ready. "Whatever happens next," Lisa told her team as they walked, Remember that humanity has never been good at taking orders from bullies. The council chamber seemed colder when the human delegation returned. All 17 alien representatives watched them with what Lisa could only interpret as hungry anticipation. They expected surrender. They would not get it. High Chancellor Zorvac spoke first. Have you considered the council's demands? Lisa stepped forward. We have. And your answer? Humanity acknowledges the council's concerns, Lisa said, her voice steady and clear. We understand that our rapid growth may seem threatening to established powers. Some of the aliens relaxed slightly, thinking they were hearing the beginning of acceptance. However, Lisa continued, we cannot and will not accept limitations on our development or expansion. The chamber erupted with angry sounds. Zorvac raised his limbs for silence, but it took longer to quiet the chamber this time. Then you leave us no choice, Zorvac said. Containment procedures will begin immediately. Council ships are already moving toward your colonies. Lisa smiled slightly. Before you commit to that course of action, there's something you should see. She pulled a small device from her pocket and pressed it. A holographic display appeared in the center of the chamber. It showed a map of the galaxy with thousands of blinking dots spread throughout council space. What is this? Demanded a reptilian council member. The locations of 500 previously undetected human outposts, research stations, and military installations, Lisa explained, all established over the past decade using experimental cloaking technology. The council members stared in disbelief. Some stood up, others made sounds of shock or anger. This is a lie, Zorvac said, but his voice lacked conviction. You've been watching our official expansion, John explained, stepping forward. The colonies and ships we wanted you to see. Did you really think a species that survived on paranoia and preparation would show you everything? Sam moved next to Lisa. We've also established diplomatic and trade relations with 3 civilizations from neighboring galaxies. The Andaran, the Nith Collective, and the Veilmakers. You might recognize those names from your ancient myths. An elderly council member with translucent skin gasped. The Veilmakers are not real. They are stories to frighten children. They send their regards, Sam said, pulling out a small crystal that glowed with impossible colors. This is a communication crystal from their ambassador. Would you like to see it work? The council chamber fell silent. You're bluffing, Zorvac said eventually. No species your age could have achieved this. Lisa zoomed in the holographic display to show details of several hidden human bases. She included images of ships and weapons that the council had never seen before. We don't want conflict, Lisa said. We never have. Humanity is willing to work with the council as equals, but we will not be contained, and we will not be controlled. Why show us this now? Asked the feathered representative. If your hidden network is so extensive, why reveal it? Because we prefer honest relationships, Lisa answered, and because you needed to understand what containment would mean. Your ships would be detected and disabled before they reached our official colonies. Your hidden monitoring stations, yes, we know about those too, would be neutralized. Lisa looked directly at Zorvac. A containment effort would fail, and it would reveal to everyone how limited your actual power is. Is that really what the council wants? Several council members began talking among themselves. A few even seemed frightened. Zorvac looked at his colleagues with concern. This changes nothing, Zorvac insisted, but his voice was weaker. You are still a dangerous, unpredictable species. Yes, Lisa agreed. We are. And we have been surviving as a dangerous, unpredictable species for a very long time. We're quite good at it. She stepped closer to the center of the room. But we would rather be dangerous friends than dangerous enemies. The choice is yours. The Kirusheri representative, Talreath, spoke up. Perhaps we should consider a different approach. If humans have already expanded beyond our knowledge, containment may indeed be impractical. Other voices joined in agreement. Lisa caught Sam's eye, and he nodded slightly. Their message was having the desired effect. "We require time to discuss this new information," Zorvac announced finally. "The human delegation will return to their quarters while the council deliberates." As the guards led them out, Lisa could feel the atmosphere had changed. Fear had replaced arrogance. Uncertainty had replaced conviction. "Phase 1 complete," she whispered to her team. "Now we wait." 3 hours passed before the guards returned for the human delegation. This time, the aliens seemed less confident, keeping their distance as they led the humans back to the council chamber. When they entered, Lisa noticed immediately that several council members were missing. Empty seats suggested heated disagreements had taken place. "The council has questions," Zorvac said, his voice tense. "We require explanations before we can decide how to proceed." "We're happy to explain," Lisa replied. Zorvac gestured to Olivia. "Your scientist. We wish to hear from her about human neural structure. Our data suggests impossible learning rates." Olivia stepped forward, tablet in hand. She had prepared for this. "Human brains are unique," she began, projecting images of neural scans. "While most council species develop specialized neural pathways, human brains constantly create new connections. We call it neuroplasticity." She showed comparative scans of human brains alongside those of council races. "This is why we learn so quickly," she explained in simple terms. "When we encounter new technology, we don't just learn how to use it. We reimagine it. We connect it to other ideas in ways your species might not consider." A council member with multiple eye stalks leaned forward. "This explains your adaptation rate, but not your technological leaps. You should not have quantum-fold technology yet. It's beyond your development stage." Olivia looked to Lisa, who nodded permission to continue. "We found something on Mars," Olivia said. "Ruins of an ancient civilization. Technology that predates all council races." The chamber erupted again. Zorvac struggled to restore order. "Impossible," he declared when the noise subsided. "Our historical records are incomplete," Olivia finished for him. "This civilization existed 15 million years ago. They left behind data storage devices with technical specifications we've been studying for decades. The Mars ruins are why we expanded so quickly," Lisa added. "We realized we weren't alone in the universe long before we met the council. We prepared accordingly." John stepped forward next. "There's something else you need to understand about humans, something that makes us different from council races." He projected images of Earth's history, wars, battles, conflicts spanning thousands of years. "While your species evolved in relative harmony, humans fought each other constantly," John explained. "We developed weapons to fight ourselves, strategies to defeat enemies who thought exactly like we did. When peace finally came, we had military technology and thinking that had evolved through endless conflict." Some council members shifted uncomfortably. "We're not threatening war," John clarified. "I'm explaining why containment would fail. Humans prepare for worst-case scenarios, always. It's in our nature." "Your weapons?" a slug-like council member asked. "How advanced are they truly?" "The U.S. Horizon, our ship in your dock, contains weapons systems that could disable this entire station," John said matter-of-factly. "We didn't bring it to threaten you. It's just our standard protocol to be prepared." Lisa watched the council members' reactions carefully. Some showed fear, others showed calculation. A few seemed impressed. "What we're trying to explain," Sam added, stepping forward, "is that humanity doesn't fit your usual patterns. You're trying to apply rules designed for different types of species." Tallareth, the Kirisheri representative, spoke up. "The humans make a valid point. Our containment strategies assume predictable responses. If humans are as adaptive as they claim, containment could escalate into conflict." A small, elderly alien with crystalline features spoke for the first time. "I am old enough to remember when the Lentari joined the council. We had similar fears then." With respect, Zorvac replied, "The Lentari were not like humans. They followed expected patterns. And yet we feared them, the crystalline alien countered. Perhaps our fear of humans is similarly misplaced. Lisa sensed the changing mood. She nodded to Olivia, who activated another display. This one showed human colonies, families, children, farms, and schools. This is what we're protecting, Lisa said. Not just our military power or our technology, but our people, our future. We will protect them by any means necessary, but we would prefer peace. The council must vote again, Zorvac announced, seeing that opinions were shifting. Humans will wait outside. As they left the chamber, John whispered to Lisa, "They're divided now. That works in our favor." "Sam," Lisa asked quietly, "what do your diplomatic instincts tell you?" Sam smiled slightly. "They're scared, but also intrigued. Some of them are starting to see advantages in having humans as allies rather than enemies." "Good," Lisa said, "because Phase 2 is about to begin." The council debated for nearly 6 hours. When the human delegation was finally called back, Lisa could feel the shift in the chamber's atmosphere. The unified front had broken. Some council members looked at the humans with curiosity rather than fear. Talreath stood before Zorvac could speak. "The council is divided on how to proceed. Several of us believe that attempting to contain humanity would be both impractical and potentially dangerous." Zorvac's upper limbs twitched in obvious irritation, while others maintain that unchecked human expansion remains an unacceptable risk. "We propose a compromise," said the crystalline elder. 3 council races, the Kirisheri, the Lenturi, and ourselves, the Mithran, suggest forming a joint research initiative with humans. This would allow for monitored technological exchange and cultural understanding. Talreath nodded. "And we further propose that humanity be offered a seat on the council." Shocked murmurs filled the chamber. No species had ever been offered council membership so quickly after discovery. "This is unprecedented," Zorvac objected. "Council membership requires centuries of observation. Unprecedented times require unprecedented measures," the Lenteri representative replied. His voice was deep and resonant. "If humans have indeed made contact with the Veilmakers, they have already achieved what we could not in 10,000 years." Lisa stepped forward. "We are interested in your proposal. May we discuss terms privately?" The moderate council members agreed. Guards led Lisa's team to a small meeting room where Talreath, the crystalline elder, and the Lenteri representative joined them. "The hardliners will never truly accept you," Talreath said once they were alone. "But they fear open conflict more than they fear compromise." "What exactly would council membership entail?" Sam asked. The crystalline elder, who introduced himself as Hathor, explained. "You would gain access to shared technologies, trade routes, and protection packs. In exchange, you would agree to certain expansion protocols and regular inspections." "Inspections of what?" John asked sharply. "Military capabilities, mainly," said the Lenteri representative. "The Council fears weapons that could threaten multiple star systems." While they discussed terms, Lisa discreetly signaled to Olivia and John. Both quietly placed small devices under the table and chairs, quantum entanglement communicators that would allow Earth to listen to all future council meetings. "We need to consult our government," Lisa said eventually. "Can we use our ship's communication array?" "Of course," Talreath agreed. "We will wait." Once aboard the U.S. Horizon, Lisa secured a quantum channel to Earth. President Rodriguez and his advisors listened to her report. "They're offering us a seat on the council," Lisa explained, "along with technology sharing and trade agreements." "And the restrictions?" Rodriguez asked. "Limitations on military expansion and weapons development. Regular inspections of our major facilities." The president looked to Dr. Wright, who sat quietly nearby. The scientist nodded slightly. "Accept their offer," Rodriguez said. "But with conditions. We want a 5-year adjustment period before inspections begin, and we want access to their historical archives, all of them." "What about Protocol Omega, sir?" Lisa asked. "Proceed as planned," Rodriguez replied. "The Council doesn't need to know about our defensive preparations. As for Dr. Wright's Ascension project," he paused, "that remains classified at the highest level. No one outside this room knows the full scope." "Understood, sir." When they returned to the meeting room, Sam took the lead in negotiations. He was a master at appearing to compromise while giving up little of substance. "Earth accepts Council membership," he announced, "with certain conditions." The alien representatives listened as Sam outlined Earth's terms. They seemed relieved that humans were willing to negotiate at all. "These terms are acceptable," Tal Reith said finally, "though the hardliners will require assurances about your hidden outposts." "We will provide coordinates for a portion of them," Lisa offered. "As a show of good faith, the rest will remain our security guarantee." Late that night, while the delegation rested, Lisa sent an encrypted message to Earth. "Council divided. Moderates offering alliance, hardliners reluctantly accepting. Phase 2 complete." The response came quickly. "Proceed with Phase 3. Protocol Omega activated. Ascension project entering final stage. Return home with treaty." As Lisa tried to sleep, she thought about what Dr. Wright's mysterious project might be. Whatever it was, President Rodriguez believed it would change everything. Tomorrow, they would sign the treaty. Humanity would take its place among the galactic powers and secretly prepare for whatever might come next. 6 months later, Admiral Lisa Greenfield stood before the Galactic Council. She wore a formal uniform designed specifically for her new role as Earth's first Council representative. The chamber looked different now. Her seat was positioned between the Kirushari and the Mithran, humanity's strongest allies. Representatives of the 17, now 18, Council races, Lisa began her address. "I bring greetings from Earth and all human colonies." She spoke of cooperation and shared progress, of the research initiatives already underway between human scientists and their alien counterparts, of trade agreements and cultural exchanges. Her words were carefully chosen to reassure the Council that humanity accepted its place in the galactic order. Behind her diplomatic smile, Lisa knew the truth. The Council believed they had successfully contained humanity through bureaucracy and rules. They thought their inspection protocols and expansion guidelines would slow human advancement. They were wrong. While the Council watched what humans wanted them to see, Earth was changing in ways no alien mind had predicted. On a secure base beneath the Pacific Ocean, Dr. Alan Wright stood in a massive laboratory. Around him, hundreds of humans wore specialized headsets. Unlike earlier versions, these devices were almost invisible. Small neural interfaces at the temples. "Neural connection at 97% efficiency," reported his assistant. "All subjects show complete integration." Dr. Wright nodded with satisfaction. Phase 1 of the Ascension project had succeeded beyond expectations. Humans were interfacing directly with technology, merging their neural patterns with artificial intelligence systems, not replacing human thought, but enhancing it. The result was a new kind of intelligence, human intuition and creativity amplified by computational power. "Begin Phase 2 rollout," Dr. Wright ordered. "Priority to defense personnel, then scientific teams, then civilian volunteers." In orbit around Earth, President Rodriguez toured the newly completed defense platform, one of dozens now surrounding Earth and all major colonies. The platforms appeared to be standard defense systems on the outside. Council inspectors had already examined and approved them. What the inspectors couldn't detect was hidden beneath the visible technology: quantum-linked weapons that could target any point in space without warning, a defensive grid that could activate instantly if needed. "Will the Council discover these?" Rodriguez asked the military commander giving the tour. "No, sir," she replied confidently. "The quantum shielding makes them completely undetectable to all known Council scanning technology." Rodriguez nodded. "And the colony ships?" "The first fleet departs for Andromeda next week. Using the new fold space technology, they'll be beyond Council reach within days. We've already sent automated construction units to prepare landing sites." Back in the Council chamber, Zorvac watched Lisa with suspicion as she finished her speech. Despite the treaty, despite humanity's apparent compliance, he still didn't trust these strange, adaptable beings. Earth has honored all aspects of our agreement, Lisa concluded. We look forward to centuries of peaceful cooperation. Most council members seemed satisfied. The crisis had been averted. The dangerous humans were now part of the system, bound by the same rules that had maintained stability for thousands of years. That night, in her private quarters on the council station, Lisa recorded a message for President Rodriguez. She activated multiple security protocols before speaking. Phase 3 complete, she reported. The council believes we've accepted their limitations. Hardliners like Zorvac remain suspicious, but can't act without evidence. Our quantum communicators are functioning perfectly. We now hear everything discussed in private council sessions. She paused, then added, the Kirshiri ambassador hinted that 3 other council races have expressed interest in private technology sharing beyond what the treaty allows. Apparently, our rapid advancement has inspired others to question the council's restrictive policies. Lisa looked out her window at the stars. Somewhere out there, human colony ships were already using technology beyond the council's understanding to reach another galaxy. Dr. Wright's Ascension project was creating a new kind of human, one that could process information and develop technology at rates that would seem impossible to alien minds. They still have no idea what we are becoming, Lisa said softly as she finished her message. And by the time they realize, it will be too late to stop us. She sent the encrypted transmission, then prepared for tomorrow's council meeting. On her agenda, a proposal for joint archaeological studies of the Mars ruins. The council had eagerly accepted, hoping to understand the ancient technology humans had discovered. They didn't know that the most important discoveries had never been shared, that the ruins contained information about the Veilmakers and their mysterious disappearance, that humans had already deciphered warnings about threats from beyond the galaxy, threats the council had never imagined. Humanity would be ready when those threats arrived. The council races might never understand why humans pushed so hard, expanded so quickly, developed weapons so powerful. They saw only aggression and ambition. They didn't understand that humans had always prepared for the worst while hoping for the best. And in the darkness between galaxies, something was stirring. Something the ancient Mars civilization had fled from. Something humanity now prepared to face. The Council's final warning had come too late. Humanity's cold response had been perfectly calculated. The real game was only beginning.